And let us end with good news for Kazakh cinema. The film Kazakh made its debut at the prestigious Berlinale. Directed by Adilkhan Yerzhanov and produced by Tiger Films, the European premiere of this post-horror thriller took place on February 18 as part of the 75th Berlin International Film Festival. Kazakh was one of only 30 films selected for the festival's forum program, and it stood out as the only film from Kazakhstan to be featured at this major event of this year. The film tells the gripping story of a mother whose son undergoes a dramatic transformation after enrolling in a military school. It had its Asian premiere at the 37th Tokyo International Film Festival, where it earned glowing review from critics and audience alike. Director Adilkhan Yerzhanov personally introduced the movie to festival audience in Berlin. New Time reporter caught up with the director backstage at the festival for an exclusive conversation.
Adilkhan, рада приветствовать вас в нашей программе.
Adilkhan, it's a pleasure to have you with us from Berlin. We understand you presented your film Kazakh at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival. Could you please share your emotions and impressions from the event, especially since, as we know, your film was the only one from Kazakhstan represented this year at the festival?
В этот раз на Берлинале, пожалуйста.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. Yes, the European premiere took place 2 days ago. From my experience, I believe audiences are pretty much the same everywhere. But strangely enough, it also depends on the time and place. The emotions of the audience in the morning can differ from those in the evening. But this screening was success because the audience was truly engaged and felt what was happening on the screen. I could sense that in the theater.
How did you know that the screening was successful? Have you received any feedback from other high-profile filmmakers?
Feedback is still coming in, mainly through social media posts, reviews and critics' reactions. Different opinions are gradually emerging, and we're still observing them. This process is ongoing.
Let's talk a bit about the story of Kazakh. How did you come up with the idea for the screenplay? And why did you choose the post-horror genre, which is quite unusual for the Kazakh film industry?
I believe fear is the most cinematic emotion. If I had to choose between genres like melodrama, comedy or horror, I would definitely prefer horror because it provides a lot of opportunities to explore cinematic qualities. You can play with light, shadow and suspense. The horror genre gives the director a full range of tools to work with, much more than in comedy or melodrama. So when I wanted to work within a genre, I always considered westerns and horror films, as both allow me to tell something personal.
What do you think are the strongest aspects of your filmmaking styles that you brought to Kazakh, which have helped you showcase it at multiple film festivals? What sets it apart?
I think both festival audiences and general viewers are craving genre films. The element of genre is always interesting, whether for highbrow critics or a wider audience. For me, this kind of art house mainstream is where I'm headed, and I think that's something critics and audience can both find interesting.
Your film has been praised by Oscar-winning director Alfonso Cuarón, who called Kazakh an impressive horror. What are your distribution plans for the film?
The film had a wide release in Kazakhstan just a couple of days after its world premiere in Tokyo, back in early November. It's already being picked up by global distributors, and talks are underway. I think there will be more screenings at various venues throughout the year in different regions.
What are your overall goals within the film industry? Will you continue making horror films, and if so, what themes will they explore?
I'm not necessarily planning to make another pure horror film, but the element of fear and suspense will always be present in my work. I'm not sure if it will be pure genre piece or a combination of genres, but suspense will definitely play a part in my future films.
Adilkhan, we're very proud of you, and before we let you go, what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers who want to show their films at international festivals? And what guidance would you give yourself for the next few years, considering industry trends?
I think the most important piece of advice I would give, especially if I could turn back time, is to keep filming no matter what. Don't be discouraged by criticism or negative reviews. You have to keep shooting, working, growing and improving. That's the best advice I can give.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much, Adilkhan, for joining us from Berlin. We wish you continued creative success.
Thank you very much.